All right, we are back. We are working on Breakfast Hill. Let me just make sure this stream is actually working. Come on. Oh, maybe. All right, let's take care of that. See if we can fix a few things here. That's good. That is not good. Why? It screws up every time. That is not what I'm doing. Let's see what the other one says. What is going on? Yeah, that's not even close to what I'm doing. All right, let's quickly change these, change the titles and stuff, because that is not right. I had changed it. I don't know. Maybe that will do it. I don't know. Let's see if that changes things. Probably not. So annoying. Let's see. All right, let's edit that. Upload thumbnail. Let's get the thumbnail out here. Playlist, golf course development. Okay. What a pain. I think I am done with Restream. I don't want to use Restream anymore. They just screw everything up. It's just not worth it. What a pain. Dum, 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 dum. All right, fix that, fix that. Let me fix this. I tried. I wanted to use both, but I guess I'm not gonna use Restream anymore. This will be the last time, I think, until they fix stuff, and I have no faith that they will. Let's save that. That's a lot different. All right, well, we'll see how that goes, and hopefully it will be better. I don't know. We'll find out. But yeah, what is going on? Yeah, oh well. All right, I'm gonna just go ahead with what I was going to be working on, and we're just gonna hope that everything works out as it's supposed to. All right, I'm just gonna like minimize or just kind of get stuff. Let's see, I want that one, I want that one, I wanted that one, I want that one. All right. All right, so we are working on Breakfast Hill. We're coming back. We are on hole number 12 now, which should be this one right here. All right, make sure everything's still locked as it's supposed to be. Cool. All right. So it looks like we have 1, 2, 3 tee boxes. Check the hillshade. Oh, what's this one? Is there another one? Oh, there is another one. Okay, cool. So there's actually another one we got to look at. And I'm not even sure, is this even going? Jeez, everything's messed up today. Okay, so it looks like this is actually 3 tee boxes. So let's switch back to the hillshade here, and we'll mark those out. Hopefully this one is big enough, or I don't have to make it bigger, and it will fit the tees. Guess we'll find out later. All right, let's take a look. See what we got here. All right, we got this sand trap. Got this sand trap. Is there one under the... I think it's just a rock. I do not believe that's a sand trap. See if I can see a better look on it. Oh yeah, that's a rock. All right, so 2 sand traps and then 2 up at the green. I think I landed in this one when I was playing. Ooh, I don't like that little hook right there. Let's take a look at it, see if it doubled up, see if it's a double node. Yep, it was. All right, so I'm just gonna delete that node. Was it a triple node? No, it was just a weird node. Okay, that should be good. That is fine. Let's see, okay, so that one's good. We'll mark these ones out. That one's good. All right, I think that's it for the sand traps. Yep, and then we just have one big fairway. Okay, so we're gonna mark out the green here, just inside the fringe. All right. I'm gonna make this a duplicate. Let me check this corner just to make sure it's not a duplicate node. Okay, it is not. I'm just gonna put it back. All right, then we can draw in the fairway here. No, I want want to start a little steeper. There we go. It's a long hunk of fairway. Not very straight. It's a little wavy. Fairway actually starts before the last tee box does. Let's see. There we go. Get the trees out of the way. I'm gonna try to enter this a little steep right there. Join those, and we'll take a look at these two nodes right on the corners. That one's fine to be deleted. This one should be fine to be deleted as well. All right, looks pretty good. See what's going on. All right, we are on to hole 13. Let me check the satellite here. I want to say they might have extended 13 a little bit. Nope, they hadn't. They were doing some work over here, I believe. I thought they were like sticking another tee box in here somewhere, but it looks like they just have the two. They might have since August, but whatever. We'll take a look. All right, so we'll go back here. We'll just stick with the tee boxes that we see. All right, hole 13. I should just use the hill shade because that'll probably be, yeah, see, I landed off the edge there and that's not gonna, whoops. I'm gonna get rid of that, and then I'm gonna look at the hill shade and use the hill shade because it just fell off the edge and it's just a pain in the butt to deal with the terrain later. So I'd rather just stay without having to do any terrain modification when I get into Unity. All right, cool, we're good there. I believe that's it for tee boxes. Yeah, just goes into the fairway from there. Looks like we have no sand on this hole, but we do have this water right here, so I guess that's kind of what's protecting the green in this one. So go up the green here. So this will be a quick one until we come back and do cart paths and the surrounding rough. All right, green. We'll give that a duplicate here. We'll change that to fairway cut. And we'll map out the fairway here. I sort of remember this hole. I remember the next one because the next one's a par 3. Actually, the drink cart girl came right at the lot right when we were on the tee box. I remember that. All right, we'll check these nodes right here are the connections. That one can probably be deleted and should be fine. And this one looks like it should be able to be deleted. Ooh, I didn't like how it pulled that in. So I'm actually going to just smooth it manually here, pulling out the node. Cool, that's good. All right, cool. All right, onward to, there were really that many tee boxes for this hole? It is a par 3, so they get chewed up pretty good. So I guess you want a lot of them. Okay. So on to 14 here. It's par 3 over a bunch of like cattails. This is basically all cattails right here. It's a little marshy. But there are a bunch of tee boxes. The blacks are way back there. Actually, let's switch to the hillshade because we don't want to fall off the edge like we did right there. So I'm gonna just delete that one and we'll start over. Their tee boxes are nice and like raised and they're flat. So like I don't think I'm gonna have to do a whole lot when I get into Unity as far as these tee boxes go, or Blender. They should be pretty much set to go. I mean, I'll still give them just a flatten just to make sure that they're completely flat, but I'm not gonna have to really do a whole lot. Shouldn't be falling off the edge of any of them, so that should be fine. That's kind of where the pain in the butt part comes in, is when your tee box lands not on the flat part and you gotta kind of manipulate the whole thing, which is not fun. It's a giant pain in the butt. Let's try to get this tee box in here. That will be fine. Let's select them all and then we'll fill them all in. Cool. We'll fill in the sand trap as it's nice and visible. All right, sand trap, and then we'll take a look at the green on the satellite. Oh, there's just this tiny little fairway cut right there. This one is going to be close. This might be just a 2 because that sand trap is just so close to the green. I might only be able to do expand by 2 on this one. Let's duplicate it. 1, 2. Oh, it doesn't touch, so I'm gonna keep it. It's close, but it's not touching, so we're good. I'm okay with that. Try to keep the fringes uniform, but sometimes you just need to make them a little smaller, just so they don't eat into a sand trap. Hope everybody's having a good morning. It's 11 o'clock here on the East Coast, so I have my tea. It's just some regular black tea today, nothing crazy. So it is also freezing outside. It is like 7 degrees outside. I don't like that node either. I'll probably get rid of that one too. Oh, it pulled it in. All right, I guess I'm going to smooth this node right there. Okay, cool. That looks good. All right, we are done with 14. We'll go to 15. I think it's this one. Let's check the scorecard. So 14, yep, 15 goes back out, 16 comes back in. Okay. So this one is 15. We'll check the hillshade again, because that will show us the boxes nice and clear. So it's 1, 2, 3. Is there a fourth one up here, or is that just a rock or something? Oh, there's nothing there. It's just a weird blip. We'll get 2 sand traps, 1 long one up here on the left. All right, cool. Let's look at the hillshade, and we'll map out the tee boxes first here. Make sure we're on, nope, we're still on 14. Let's switch to 15 here. There we go. They did such a good job just making their tee boxes nice and flat. There's like no variation in the hillshades for the most part. I mean, I see a little bit, but they look pretty damn flat. Wow, it looks kind of messed up on the hillshade, so we'll trace it out on the satellite. All right, got that one done. Hey, it looks like this. They're just like perfectly standing in 4 spots. And they're, I wonder what that is. I mean, that's probably not people. It's kind of weird if that was people. I mean, it could be though. All right, make the green, and we'll duplicate the green so we can expand it. Add the fringe, and then we'll cut in the fairway here. Switch to a different satellite, see if we can see the edge better without the shadows casting from the forest. Do right here. That should be good. These nodes are gonna be tricky. They might have to be manually taken care of instead of just deleting them, because I have a feeling this might not work. Yeah, I pulled it in up the top there, so I'm gonna manually, oh geez, that's a lot. Let me pull this one down, see if I can get a nice little curve going here. Oh, it's not too bad. Actually, I might just delete this node. Yeah, that worked out. That worked better. Let's flatten that out. Yeah, I like that better. This one we have a double node right at the corner. Let's see if we can delete this one without, yep, that one's fine. Although I'd want to smooth this one out just a little bit. That's good. All right, we got those. On to 16. Let's bring up the hillshade. We got this long tee box and then this tee box here. I think that's it. Those tee boxes. Let's switch to 16 before we start making stuff. Cool, that should be fine. All right, let's take a look at the satellite here. No sand traps, it looks like. Hey man, look like you're doing this pretty quick. How long have you been building? So I actually just barely started building courses during Christmas break, really. But I've already published 3, and the 4th one I submitted a couple days ago. It just hasn't published yet, so I guess technically I've pretty much published 4. So I don't know. I pick up stuff pretty quickly, so yeah, I can do stuff pretty quick once I kind of figure out the workflow of it. So I kind of have my own way of doing some things that are different than other people, just so I'm trying to think like what I need to do to prepare for farther down the road in the process and make sure I have what I need. So like one thing that I do is, one, I don't use the cart path. I just use a custom because I don't like the blend on the cart path a lot of times, and especially when they like cross over each other. So I try not to use that. So I don't use like the standard concrete material, at least when you're doing this process here. And then I can show you in a second another like little thing that is not what I wanted to do. I need this one. I can show you another little thing that I do around the clubhouse or any buildings. That node looks fine. I'm just gonna pull this in just to smooth it out. And that one can just go. And that looks good. So like I kind of go through, I do tee box, fairway, green, and sand traps first. Then I'll come back and do all the cart paths. Then I'll do the surrounding rough and the water and all that fun stuff. But so like buildings, so there's buildings down here. So I'll like, let's see. I'm gonna put this up in the cart path level. So I'll do like, you know, you got the parking lot. So I'll do the parking lot, and that goes over here. So I'm just gonna cut off this parking lot here. Just do it. I'm just trying to do this kind of dirty at the moment. So this building's a pretty good example. So I will like do this parking lot, but I'll include the building like this. And then I will make another mesh right on top of the building, but it'll still be parking lot. So I'll use the same thing. So I'll use the custom material right there. So when it comes back, there will be a mesh right here, but it blends in. And then I know I need to flatten this one mesh because that's where the building needs to go. So it's kind of, because I like to do the buildings last, but you kind of need to prepare the site for the building to go. So preparing the building location is kind of something you got to think about ahead of time. Because this one's a little crazy. So I'll go outside it and I'll trace outside of it, and I'll know I need to flatten like this area just to make sure that the building lays perfectly on it. But yeah, there's a lot of concrete around the clubhouse of this one, so it is what it is. But that's just kind of one thing I like to do. I just kind of like embed the building site inside like whatever kind of grass. If it's surrounded by grass, then I'll do grass. I'll do like two layers, inset on each other of grass. All right, let's get off the cart path. We're going to 17 here. We're gonna look at the hillshade. Not that much of a curve. How did I end up in 4? All right, let me go back, drop these in 17. There we go. I don't know how I ended up in 4. All right, select those. We'll make those T's. I believe that was it for this. I think this is just par 3. Let's check the satellite. Yeah, this is the par 3. So we'll go in, we'll do the green. Yeah, these can't be people because these guys are, there's 4 in a row right there. There's, 4 standing in like a square on another. So this has to be some sort of like, I don't know why there would be like 4, whatever that is, just like in a square like that. That's cool. I thought you were new, saw you on Thunder, tried a few steps on Father's course, always ended up playing with. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I am new. So it's only been it's been less than 2 months. It's been like 6 weeks maybe of making courses. But yeah, I just kind of picked this stuff up quickly. So yeah, I just kind of took to it. So we're going to change the color of that, add the fringe, and then we're going to fill in the fairway here. Then we'll hit the sand traps after. That one, we'll link these together, and then we'll fix those nodes that go a little crazy. That one should be able to be deleted. Oh, that one's a little wonky, so I'll extend it. And then this one, I think I'll have to adjust after. Oh, actually, it's not bad. I'm okay. Yeah, I'll adjust it here just to get a smoother transition into it. Looks a little nicer. All right, we got these 2 sand traps to take care of. This is going to be an interesting course because there's lots of rock to take care of. There's rock everywhere. So I'm going to have to find some rock assets or make some. Just because there's so much embedded into the ground. This is just like a big, like, you can barely see the green from the tee boxes. You have to like hit almost over this like rock right here. Yeah, there was another hole I was looking at. I want to say it was this one. Nope, not that one. Nope. Where was it? Was it on 12? No. Well, now I don't know where they were. It's not on one of these. But anyways, like it was right on another hole that they had the same thing happening. Like here's like a couple of those white things. Maybe it was this tee box up here. Is it here? Yeah. Another. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4 in a square. It's really weird. I don't know what that is or whatever. All right, so 17, we got the basics done. And last one, we're on to 18 here. We'll look at the hillshade. Could be golf gods pondering. Gotta get your rounds in. It's 28 degrees, yay. Or 29, fun. Yeah, so this is part 2. I've already done part 1, but yeah, if you just wanna chill and kind of see the whole process, but obviously you don't have to. I just wanted to show the whole thing. Just because it takes a really, really long time. Oh, nope, that's not what I wanted. I want to see that. So there's another tee box right here. Is it on the hillshade? Yeah, it is. Okay. It's just kind of tucked in there. I don't like that corner, how it looks. Yep, it's 2 of them. Smooth it out a little bit. All right, let's go back to the satellite view here. We got 3, 4 sand traps, 5 sand traps on the last hole here. So we'll fill those in first. Yeah, 29 Fahrenheit, that's pretty cold. I'm not sure I want to golf in 29-degree weather. Even if I didn't have 2 feet of snow on the ground. I'm gonna check that hillshade on this last one because it's kind of tucked in the shadow. All right, we're gonna go do the green now. See if we have one. I think Google has, nope. Google has kind of like a fall, so I can kind of see where the tree line is here. We'll go back to Bing so we can see the, oh, actually the Bing actually had a decent view of the cut. It's right here. That should be all right. All right, we'll take care of these. Double needs to go. Nope, I don't like that. I'm gonna take this one instead. And then we'll smooth this one out. Right there. This one, I think I can get away with just smoothing this one out too. Yep, that looks good. Cool. Wow, I think I might redo this one. Yep, the hillshade didn't do it justice kind of where it was. It's kind of hard to read off the hillshade, but Bing has a decent look at it. It's not a huge deal. It'll be fine once it gets into Unity. All right, so while we are here, we're going to do, let's see, I want to move inner deep down, but I want, what do I want to call this? Grounds. We'll call it grounds because we got a practice green right here. Just making it look nice. Link these together. Fix these nodes. These ones I don't care as much about because it's a practice screen. No one's going to be playing it. All right, and then we got the range over here. So I'm going to add the tee box for the range. And it looks like total garbage, but it's going to look nice when I'm done with it because I'm going to make it just a semi-rough cut. So I'm going to go here, here. So I'm going to capture that building. No, I want to go kind of inside the trees here. So this range is going to look a lot better than it actually does. We're just going to kind of make that semi-rough. I think I ate that, so I'm going to bump that down to the bottom. But I also want to hide that at the moment because I want to snag that building location. And I did not want to hide the whole thing. I wanted to just hide, no, not that. I want want to hide this. Actually want to go just outside of it. So I have just a little extra land to play with. So that I'm also going to make semi-rough. Add that, and then it's going to be sitting on top of this one. While you can't see it here, it will get its own path when it's done. And I want to adjust these corners right here. Actually, I could just union these two items. This one and this one. I'll just join those, and then I can deal with these right here. Get rid of this one, smooth out this one a little bit, and that'll be fine. Hey, what's up, Crushing It? How's it going? So I think I'm going to start on the cart paths now. Get those taken care of. So these are going to be fun. There's a lot of cart. The cart path basically is just continuous throughout the entire facility. So it's going to be a fun one. So we're going to do cart paths. We're gonna have to do a lot of switching between satellites because some are better than others. So we're gonna start on this cart path here. We're going into shadow, so I'm gonna bring up one of the other satellites. Yeah, we got a nice clear shot of it on this one. This is pretty good overhead. Like, it looks like it's taken pretty much right at noon in the middle of the summer. Not a ton of shadow. I'm just gonna assume that it kind of goes in here. You know, it goes through the trees, comes out the other side, so we'll say it does that. So I'll probably just kind of do like the main path through the course, make that one long path, then come back and get all the loops and the turnarounds and little pull-offs. Where's this one at? Yeah, this is Breakfast Hill. It is in Greenland, New Hampshire. It's right next to Hampton. Course was built in 2000. I want to say it finished in 2001, somewhere around there. So it's a relatively new course. Given the layout, though, you think it was originally a 9-hole and then it expanded to an 18, but it wasn't. It's a fun course, pretty challenging. It's just basically cut out of the forest. I'll zoom out real quick here. Just kind of cut out of the forest, so it's not really very link style. So if you're not on the hole that you're playing, you are kind of screwed. But it is a pretty cool course, so if you have a chance to play it, go play it. All right, looks like there's a little bridge here, so I'm gonna actually end it here. this one, I think. Yep. So we're gonna make it 3 meters wide. We're gonna, nope, did not want to fill it. Let's undo the fill. Just wanted to do the line, do the rounded edge, and we will move on from here. We'll continue on the other side of the bridge and start a new one. All right, this one, the car path goes right along the edge here, around the sand trap. Continues down here. It's hard to see it. Hopefully the Google one has a good, oh, actually the big one has a good shot of it. Doesn't have the shadow. This little hairpin right here. And where does it go? It comes down out here somewhere. Let's see if we can get a shot of it. I think Google might be able to see it a little bit. You can kind of see it. So I'm just kind of wing it, and I'll just flatten it once I get into Unity. I mean, it's through the woods. Who really cares? All right, let's switch back to the Bing. Nope, not the Bing. There we go. Here, I'm gonna back it up just a little bit. Here, here, here. I have a feeling this course is going to take a while just because it's pretty intricate, and just to make it look right, especially because of all those rocks that I mentioned earlier. Let's see if I can get a shot. Can I see? There we go. Yep. Do they like cut some trees? Or is it just the shadow? No, they definitely removed some trees between these two. Oh yeah, you can definitely see on, if you look on the left side of the fairway, you can see they cut back the trees quite a lot. Even though there is shadow and whatnot, they definitely cut back the trees. All right, so let's bring back the Bing map here. I'm curious when that other satellite was taken. I can go back and check Google Earth. They've been doing a lot of work on this course. I mean, it's a new course, but they still keep improving it, so that's nice. All right, so it goes here. Where am I going? I think I'm going this way. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's gonna all get hit anyways, but so I'm gonna go this way. But yeah, see all this rock, this is gonna be what's gonna take a lot of time to get right. Because it's something you do want to get right. Let's check, see if I got a better shot of the path. Yep, I do. Without the shadow. I'll probably hop on a game later. I've just been playing a lot, so I wanted to take a little bit of a break. All right, so we'll finish there. We will set this to 3 meters and we'll fill it in and we'll give it rounded ends. Not that it really matters where we are. Cool. All right, now we're going to go to the back 9, which starts right next to, so 10 starts right next to 1. They're kind of like nested. And this course is pretty much paved cart path the entire way. See if I can get a better shot of the cart path. Different. It looks like it goes right there. I'm just gonna pull it through. So this one just goes through the woods. Good stuff. What's up, Sabro? Is it Sabro? So I'm a little curious on how long it's actually going to take me to do this course. So that's kind of part of the, let's see if I can get a better shot of this path. Nope. The Google one, nope. Actually, yeah, you can kind of see it a little bit better. So right there, 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 there. Let's bring it back. Gotta redo that part. All right, so this is gonna go through to over here. We might have to get a little creative. I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to see it. Oh, actually, nope, since they cut back the trees a little bit on the Bing, we can go there. I'm gonna have to remember to use the Bing for kind of tree placement because a lot of things have changed since the Google one was taken. All right, so I'll come back and do the turnaround. Thinking of doing a couple local courses, Hollister, California area. Go for it. Have you done any courses at all? Or are you just kind of exploring the possibility at the moment? Let's see. So this really turns around, and that's just kind of a shortcut. Probably for maintenance equipment for the most part. Oh, no. Where's it? Does it look like there's another path that goes this way? Like connects up? But we're going to turn here, connect to that one. There's probably a few cart paths we won't bother doing because they're not really on the course. Like this connector through the woods here, probably unnecessary. I might throw it in there just so you see it, but you know, it's not as, like a third of the way done with the checklist from course building. Fun. Yeah, when did you start? Things have really changed in like the past like 60 days. So, I mean, it's, things have changed from when I started at the end of December. All right, so we got a couple weird paths. So I'm going to go with that. This one goes, maybe the hillshade might give me some insight. Yeah, the hillshade does give me a little bit of insight right here. You just started last week, yeah. Yeah, I just started at the end of December. Oh, I don't remember how this goes. Let's see the hillshade again. Hillshade. I can see the path here. I want to say it goes right there. I don't know. Maybe the Google one will show, because the Google one's. Oh yeah, it does. Oh, right there. Because the Google one was taken in the fall or the spring. I don't know which one. So we're good there. Yeah, let me know if you need any tips or anything, or if you're having questions. I haven't been doing it long, but you know, I've kind of figured out what I'm doing. kind of got a good-ish handle on it. All right, so I'm gonna make all these weird little connectors. So here, and I'll just run it down here. And just got this little cut through right here. Make it 3 meters. Did I go a little too far? Yep, I did. All right, I'm gonna pull that in just so it's not bumped out there. Okay. That one's fine. Make a little edit here. Just pull this in just so it looks nice. Right there. All right, now let's go around and we'll get some of the other connectors taken care of. So we got this little one here. No one's really gonna see it, but I'm gonna know, so, you know. Some of this is just for me. Some of it's also for the people who actually regularly play the course, because they will be very familiar with a lot of this stuff. Let's round the edge here, and we need to pull, nope. I'm gonna pull this node just so we get rid of the rounded edge right there, and right there. Let's see, we got this turnaround we got to take care of. The pink, so I like to, so I know the concrete is, you know, down here. I like to use the custom because it doesn't have a blend line on the edge. I'm not a huge fan of how the blends work, especially when you're doing like crossovers and stuff, because then you got the blend line going through where they touch. So if you use the custom, there's no blend line to deal with, so that is why I use the custom 4. Unfortunately, custom 1, 2, and 3 all have blends, but the 4th one does not. Actually, hole 99 does not as well, but I'm not sure how that cuts. If you actually use 99, I think the Clender will screw it up. And it will just put it as whatever you put your hole 99 as. So that is why I use custom 4. I use custom 4 a lot because it has no blend, so I'll use it for very like specific, you know, kind of weird areas and whatnot, but I also like to use it for my cart path. Just kind of gives you that well, I find it gives you that flexibility. It's a little better without having the blend line. I don't know, I mean, I don't know why there's a blend line on the concrete, because I mean, it's not like it actually blends in real life. I mean, the cart path or the pavement, you know, hits right up against the grass. It's not like there's actually any blend to happen. So that is why I don't use the concrete for my cart paths. So there's this little pass through here. No one's gonna notice that one. That's just a little dirt trail, I think, mostly for, yeah, same right here. It's cutting across the power, going back and forth across the power lines. No one's gonna notice those. This one, again, just goes across the power lines, just as a quick bump out to here. It's probably mostly just for maintenance. Oh, did they change? Oh, I must have used the, let me check the hillshade. The hillshade might only say that there's they might have extended this T-box. Let's check the hillshade. Yeah, look, they extended they've changed the T-box. But I'm not gonna want to do it because I'm not gonna want to screw with it. So I'm just gonna leave it how it is. Because the terrain that I have does not have that T-box, and I don't want to have to edit that terrain. So yes, that is why I'm using the pink for my car paths. Got this little cut through right here. So that's custom 4. All right, got that little cut through, got that bridge right there. I'm gonna have to remember to build a bridge. Let me check this spot right here. It looks like my double noded. Yep, double node. Let's get rid of that double node and we'll pull it out. I might have double clicked on accident right next to each other. Should design in an option to jump the golf cart and see the view to the next hole. Oh, to jump in the golf cart and drive it? Yeah. I mean, it'd be fun just to be able to drive, drive the cart anywhere. It'd be nice just to be able to walk or, navigate the entire thing, not just go from where your ball is to where your ball is. It'd be really cool if you could actually, walk around the golf course. That'd be kind of fun. Just kind of explore. All right, so I gotta do this loop for whatever that is, 15, 16. All right, let's go. We'll start back here. I'll go here, here. Oh, if you're doing the thing, if you've gone to the section on cart paths, loops are now no longer a problem if you weren't aware of that. So you don't have to worry about making gaps or anything. So loops are fine now. So that's a piece of info if you didn't know. So making donuts is fine now. They fixed that. It doesn't throw an error. Yeah, I'll just do that, see what happens. We'll see if that works. It'll be interesting if it does work. Stroke, let's make it 3 meters. They hit, that's fine. Should be okay. So yeah, something good to know. The loops are now no longer a problem. So yeah, I see this road, but I don't know where it goes. Like, oh, it comes right here, I think. Yeah, I'm just gonna make this loop right through here. Just, it's there. Not a big deal. But, you know, people might notice it. You never know. All right, that looks fine. Let me check this connection. That connection looks fine. Oh, let me see. Oh, that one's good too. That one, just adjust that one just a touch. I also like to do all the cart paths, and then I'll go back and then I'll do the, I'll set the stroke to path. You still need to do that. You can't just leave it as a line. Cool. All right, so now it looks like I've gotten, oh, this is this turnaround here. I missed this turnaround. Let me get this turnaround first. That's not what I meant to do. You know what? Actually, let me start over. I'll start on this side. And I'll end at the end of the loop. Three, rounded, stroke. All right, those are all looking good. I'm just gonna go through each hole. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And back to 10. This is 11 right here. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Oh, that wasn't 17. This is 17 right here. 17, 18. Cool. All right, looks like we got all the cart paths. So now I'm gonna do all the cart paths. Right now I just have these two, this parking lot, and then the rest of them, and that's the building I was talking about. The rest of them are all actual lines right now. So I'm gonna go select them all. Then I'm gonna go path, stroke to path. Very important that you do that part, or else you're gonna get a bunch of errors when you send it through the mesh tool. All right, so now because this is not a links style course, we're gonna have to figure out how we want to do the rough. I think I'm just going to do them one hole at a time. Normally I'd just do like big swaths, and then like if I needed like a deep rough somewhere, I'd just put a deep rough on top of it. But I think in this case, because each hole has such separation, I'm going to actually put a rough for each hole. But first I'm gonna do the water. I'm gonna do the water planes. So we're gonna go up, I don't know why I call that water folder. Just call this water. There's not a whole lot of water on this course. This one is kind of the main one, right? Oop, I'm probably not in the right spot. There we go. There's not a whole lot of water on this course. There's kind of some marshy area, but I'll set that separately. I'll probably just cut that as I'll cut the marshy area kind of as like a deep rough, because I think you can kind of play from it for some of it. I might set some of it as a non-playable out of hazard. All right, so there's that one pond. Oh here's the other one I was looking for. So there's that one. I think those are like kind of the two main bodies of water. There's one out in the woods. I don't really care about that one. There's this little tiny like creek, but that's more marshy, just kind of scrub brush more than anything. So I'm not too worried about it. So it looks like those are the only two bodies of water to deal with on this course, which is nice. Cool, so I guess I'm gonna use my unmarked area as deep rough, because I think that's probably gonna be the most efficient way to go. Anywhere I don't fill in, it's just gonna be considered deep rough. So I'm gonna go down to surrounding rough, because it's gonna be under everything. So I am, just because it's gonna look nicer if I do it this way. Actually, let me capture the buildings first, actually. So let's do grounds. And we're gonna capture this building, and we're probably gonna capture the rest of the pavement. So let's capture the pavement here, just kind of going into the storage shed. Then out, do a little bit of the parking lot. And then how do I want to do this? All right, I'm gonna snag the edge of the building. Just kind of trace around the outside, given you know, a meter or two, a couple meters. Actually, finish into the garage. All right, so I'm gonna make that, and I'm gonna fill it in. So that's gonna be pavement. And then this is gonna be pavement. Hopefully everything's good. Did I drop some frames there? Doesn't say I dropped any frames. So I'm gonna fill in this pavement here. So I'm gonna do that. And then I'm going to set the building's footprint. And there is some pavement around it too, so I'm going to capture that while I'm doing it. So I'm going to stay out on the pavement. I'm going to have to draw. I know I'm going to have to draw some of it too. Actually, yeah, let's actually just, here, I'm gonna start on this corner. I'm gonna snag this pavement here. I'm gonna go over to this little walkway. And then when I get into Unity, I'm gonna paint the grass. I'm gonna paint the grass in, I think, where there is not grass, or where there is grass. So I'm gonna snag it here. It's probably unnecessary to hit that, but I'm gonna go all the way up to here. I'm gonna cover, I'm gonna cover this area with its own mesh. So I can make a nice big flat area. And I actually want to Actually, that'll be perfect because it's underneath the cart path. So that'll actually be perfect. So we'll fill that in. We'll have this mesh by itself that we can just flatten if we need to. And then we'll be fine. Okay, so we got all the pavement covered, I believe. Cool. All right, so now I'm going to go to the surrounding rough. And I don't want like all around the clubhouse to be like deep rough. So I'm going to surround it completely with just a regular, kind of regular rough, including like the including like a little bit of the driving range as well. So let's just kind of start here behind hole 10. We're just gonna go. I mean, it's not gonna look super different. The grass is gonna look slightly different when we use the 3D grass, but I'd rather it look kind of nice than just be total garbage. Let's pull that back a little bit. Let's pull that back. Let's get a little tighter to the building here. And since I'm here, I'm gonna hit I think I'm gonna hit 18 and 9 while I'm here. So I'll just add their rough. Then I'll just have one nice big big section of rough that works for what we're doing. And then I'll add a little deep rough right over here. But we want to make this look kind of nice. So let's go here. We'll run up the cart path. And we'll round this back tee box. Back to the cart path, run the cart path. Actually, we're not gonna run the cart path, we're gonna pop out of the cart path. Here. That's kind of gonna be deep rough, so I wanna stay out of it. That'll be the default texture, is the deep rough. So anything I do not fill in is gonna be set to deep rough. So let's just make a nice, we'll do a nice little surround of the driving range. No one's gonna notice, but you know, might as well. Just do a little loop like that. And then we are back. Boom. All right, so we're gonna set that to rough. Look how nice that makes it. Makes it all nice and pretty. But we're gonna hide that rough just for a second because we need to drop deep rough right here. So we're gonna drop a little deep rough right here. And actually I'm gonna have to move it up to inner rough. Let's move this to its own folder up here for the inner rough because we want this sitting on top. But we want it below cart path, so inner rough. That's where we want it, so that's our inner deep. That's one spot of inner deep, and then we want this in here as inner deep as well. So we're gonna take, and my dog is having an issue trying to figure out how to get into a chair. As you can see, like this is kind of all like deep rough, so we're gonna take a little bit of these trees right here and go down here, 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 here. You can really see like where the marshy area is here. I know I cut it off, but we're just gonna go out to where the default is going to be, so we get it covered at least. And then we won't have like some weird gap. We're gonna run down the cart path as deep rough. We're gonna pop out right here, finish that up, and that is gonna be deep rough. So I think that is it for the inner rough that needs to get covered. So let's bring back the surround and see what that looks like. Surround right here. Let's look at that. Oh yeah, that looks good. Make sure we aren't covering any. So we have this spot down here, we have this spot up here. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. All right, so surrounding rough. We'll continue on here. All right. I mean, this is kind of like unplayable area anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. So we're gonna do 1 and 10 right here, probably together as a I don't know what I can call it, as a pair, as a group. Go right down. We're going to come down here into the grass. We're going to go around. We're going to hit right here, kind of where the grass is actually mowed. Right here, here. And then we'll just follow the mow line right on the edge of 10 as well. And again, we'll add a deep right here in the middle. It's really not that deep, but it is a little more brushy. And we'll give a little bit of a penalty if you end up over there. All right, so we got all those rocks. Doesn't matter really what it's going to be because those are going to be covered in rocks. So we'll go back into this rough and we'll overlap it. And that should do it. Let's set that as rough. And I think that looks pretty good. We're gonna hide it real quick because we want to put just a little bit of deep right here. So I'm gonna go inner deep. We're just gonna kind of catch this with a little bit of deep rough. We'll go right down the cart path because it's mostly rock, and we'll pop out just a bit. So we just got this little piece of deep rough. Nothing really serious, but it's there. It's in play. So you can hit it if you want, or you can hit it if you don't want. So that looks good. I'm happy with that. Oh, I accidentally laid down a mark. All right, so it looks like 2 is just going to be on its own because it doesn't really link up to anything. I guess I could do 2 and 3 together. Yeah, I'll just do 2 and 3 together. That'll be fine. Mostly because it's just going to go right up the cart path. So I'm going to start at the back of the tee box. And we'll move up the cart path. We'll move into the cart path, and we're just going to follow the cart path for quite a while. Because it is crap on the other side. So if you cross the cart path, you're in the deep stuff. So continue up, and then we'll pop out behind the tee box. We'll run up the edge here where you can kind of see the mow line. And then back into the cart path. We won't be too punishing, but yeah, if you cross the cart path, then you're gonna get the punishment for landing in the deep. Or if you go into the woods, of course. So there's this spot right here, but I mean, it's mostly out of play, so I'm not even gonna bother covering it. I'm not gonna really bother with it. Let's see, what do I wanna do? So I'm gonna kind of skirt the water and I'm gonna run right between. So there's a little bit of deep rough just between the fairway and the water. So we're gonna have fairway, rough, and then deep rough surrounding the water. I was gonna put some, water plants and stuff in there. So it's gonna be tough to play if you just right on the edge. It's gonna be pretty tough to play it. Cool. I think we're gonna be good. That looks pretty solid, I think. Let's fill it in, take a look. And I put it up in the inner deep, so let's drag it down to surrounding rough, so it's underneath everything. There we go, that looks a lot better. So we got our water, we basically have it running up the cart path the whole way. I don't see any bleed over on accident where it's not supposed to be. I am happy with how that turned out. All right, well, probably for the same thing for 4 here, probably just gonna go around the boxes and then run it up the cart path and then out, then back into the cart path. This is definitely super deep rough, so anything inside the cart, I might put this little slice, and you could land over there. I'm gonna make that little slice right here rough as well, just to be nice. And then let's just kind of plan this cutout. So we're gonna go here. Actually, we'll capture the next hole as well. Because in these trees, it's not, do I want to do, I'll think about it, but I'll grab it. And if I want to do deep rough here, I'll do deep inner on that. Go up here, around here, capture these, and then head up. Okay, let's do it. Okay, we're gonna start behind this tee box. This tee box is newish, so where the actual terrain, it's right here. So we're gonna start behind the tee box. We're gonna go into the cart path, follow the cart path up to here, exit the cart path. We're gonna surround the green. Clearly this is deep rough right here, so we'll leave that. Go back into the cart path, then we're gonna follow the cart path. Actually, I'm gonna back up. I'm gonna cut the cart path out right here. I'm gonna keep this little sliver as being regular rough, because you could land there. I mean, you shouldn't, but you could. So we're not gonna do too much punishment if you land in that little sliver. So we're gonna cut in these tee boxes. All right, and then we're gonna run right up the cart path here. Follow the cart path. behind some deep rough. So we're gonna take a cart path here. Let's bring up one of the other satellites because they were doing work on the hole. That's the old one. That is the current. That's what it currently looks like. So actually they got rid of this. So we are going to follow the cart path. Nope, we're not going to cross over. We're going to stay, and then we're going to exit cart path here. Make this rough around this whole thing. I got this big ass rock. I'm going to fill this up. Fill this in. We're going to cut back behind this tee box. And we should be good. Hey, Chloe. Doggo. She had a tough time trying to figure out how to get in there. Hey, stop. Did you just pee? Come on. He peed. All right, dog peed on the floor. Awesome. Why'd you have to scare your brother? That was... You did. You made her mad. All right, so this is going to be regular rough. Let's get that. Perfect. So this is going to be defaulted as deep rough anyways, so that's fine. So let's just hide this just to see if there's any place we really want to put in some deep rough. So I think this tree line right here, we're going to set as deep. So I'm going to move up to the inner deep because I want this to sit on top. So we're going to go here. I mean, if you end up in here, then you've got a pretty big problem anyways. So we're going to go here. This is all going to be deep rough anyways, but I just want to sit on top of the rough that we just created. Boom, right there. Make that deep. And now when we bring back our surround right here, we have it cut out. We have a nice little deep. I mean, this is just going to get blended in with the rest of the deep, so it's really not a huge deal. So we're good there. I'm actually gonna, I'm gonna edit this just a little bit, just so it's not so close and the mesh doesn't get all screwed up. I mean, the mesh should be fine. I don't think it's gonna be an issue, but just in case. Sometimes like harsh edges are not welcomed for the most part. So, you know, it is what it is. Master at work. Hey, how's it going for Scotland? Yeah, we're having a good old time. Sounds like you are a golfer of some kind. You are watching on my Tea and Tobacco channel, but if you want to go over to my regular golf channel, I'm just streaming on both places today. It's called Accidental Birdie. If you want to go there, that's where all my golf content is going to be. But I just happen to be streaming in both places today. All right, so that's there. So we're just gonna, this one's easy. We're just gonna put a rough right here. So let's go down to our surrounding rough and we'll cut in a rough around hole number 6. I'm not sure what hole that is. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, yep, it is 6. So we're just gonna cut that in. We're just gonna follow the cart path because it goes deep on the other side. So just follow the cart path down. Pop out of the cart path here, and then just down the edge and around the tee box. And that one's super easy. then this one's fun. It's just kind of separated, so we'll just make two. We'll do this side around the tee boxes. Oh, I did not want to link that node. We'll go into the cart path. We'll just follow the cart path down. All right, so set that to rough. There is a new tee box right here, a new forward tee box, but it's not on the terrain yet. And obviously it's not on the satellite yet either. The newest satellite was taken in April and they were building it in August. So there's no really picture of it or its exact location at the moment. Let's see, how do I want to do this? Yeah, this is how I want it. I'll be fine. So we'll go into the cart path, follow the cart path around. Actually, I'm gonna go on the other side of the cart path because there is a cut right here. So it is rough, but you know, if you end up over there, you got some problems. And then I'll follow the cart path up because it hugs the woods the rest of the way. What resource do you use to make basic fence that runs along the tree line? I haven't actually put any fences on my courses. I know there's some built right into the OPCD tools, I believe. I believe there are some that's already in there. I believe there's a tool for it though, but I don't remember what it's called. But there haven't been any fences on the courses that I've made. That is the correct rough. Yep. All right, so we got that. This is all going to be deep rough. Yeah, it should be. I believe it's one of the tools that's in that is in the main Unity package for OPCD. I'm pretty sure, at least. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the case. But yeah, if you're into the content and whatnot, head over. I'll post the link here. If you want to pop over to that channel, that's where my main golf stuff is going to be. I just happen to be dual streaming today. All right, so how are we going to do these? I think we're just going to go inside the cart path is deep rough, and except for this little slice here, we'll just do individuals. That's fine. So let's start behind the tee box. Just kind of fill this spot in, then we'll come back on the other hole as well. Out right here. side. Kind of have this little cutout here. All this scrub brush. All right, I'm gonna edit that a little bit. This is probably double node. Yep, it was. So we'll pull that out. We'll just make it nice and round. Yeah, let me check. I do have this up in Unity Fence. Yeah, so it's already in the basic assets. So I mean, I'm not on a workable plane right now, but we have some fencing. Let's see. Oh, where are we going here? Deer fence. So we got some deer fence. Looks like we got some split rail. Yeah, we got some split rail. We got some tennis court fence. Oh, apparently we have a deer. Chain link. We got some chain link sections. Got posts. Yeah, so there's a few things that are already built in. Let's see. So it's in course furniture. Split rail fence. So if you just want to do split rail fences, they've already got it built in. There's probably some other fence. But you can also, so yeah, chain link. So some chain link fences. So you got those two already built in. And then obviously you can snag fence assets from wherever. All right, let's get back to our spline here. All right, so good there. We're gonna move on to the next hole. So this one, we're going to do just a little on this side of the cart path, but then we're gonna go into the cart path, follow it down. We're just gonna overlap the other. How do I want to do this? I kind of want like a smooth-ish exit, so I'm gonna kind of go down like here, go around this green. I'm gonna go through the bunker because there's clearly just brush on the other side of the bunker. I'll stay, I know there's brush right there, but I'm just gonna go around. If you're hitting into the brush right there, you got bigger problems. Looks like this might have double noded. Yep, I have double noded. Good there. Rough. Looking pretty good. Cool. Where do we want to go? Let's go to 8. All right, so we'll follow. Just follow the edge of the woods here. We'll put, you know what? Actually, I will just do this. I'll leave the gap. And I'll just let that get caught by the outer mesh. We're gonna have to go in there and do some sculpting anyways, because that little creek, I don't know if I'm gonna put water in it or not. We'll see. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave the gap there and I'll just make another one on this side. So this will just automatically all be put as deep rough. Yeah, that's fine. Cool. All right, we'll go here. There's a big rock wall here. Again, we're gonna follow the cart path. Exit the cart path here, go around the back. And we're gonna have to build a nice big rock right here. And a rock wall right here too. We're just gonna make that rough. A message? Sure. Did not have a message. Oh, just somebody friending me on Discord. All right, so we got 14 done. Looks like we just have these 3 left. And then it looks like everything will be pretty much cut in. So these ones I might actually just do as a block because oh no, yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, why don't I will do the do I want to do it that way though? I don't know if I want to add the deep rough between these holes. I think I want to leave it, but I do want the deep rough here. So when I go through, okay, cool. All right, I know what I'm gonna do. So just so I can get some deep rough around the water, I'll pop down here. All right, then I'll take the cart path. Here, we'll go around this green. Around this green, not get stuck to that node. All right, we'll follow the cart path. Yep, and then I think what I want to do is just want to follow the cart path this way too. I think it should be pretty good. I'll pop out right here, go around this green. Fill that in. And I think we are all done with this. Well, I mean, we're done. We got all the holes, so now we just need to run it through the mesh process to make sure that it gets it. But I think we are pretty much complete with this section. Just gonna go real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and this is 9. And then we go back over here. We got 10, 11 right here. 12 right here, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. All right, cool. So we have all of the, actually I really need to save this. I haven't done that for a while. We have all of the mesh done, so I've done a save. I'm going to do save as, and I'm going to do this as no sat. And I'm going to remove the satellite so we can run it through the mesh tool, and hopefully we get it first try. That would be great. All right, I'm going to save that. We're going to go to the meshing tool. Have I started this one, Breakfast Hill? No, I have not started one on Breakfast Hill yet. All right, so we're gonna do a new, it's gonna be Breakfast Hill Golf Club. We are not using, it's going to be deep rough. Let's save that. And we're going to call this Breakfast Hill 001 because that's our first one. I'm going to select Breakfast Hill. We're going to go to our Inkscape. We're going to snag our no sat. That's not what I want. We're going to grab our no sat and we're going to sub. I know they want us to use that one, so we're going to use the unstable and see how it goes. We're going to run the job right now, and hopefully we get a message in Discord. That we are getting processed, but I haven't gotten a message yet. It's waiting to be processed, so we'll take a minute and hopefully, oh, cool. We just got a message from the bot that it's processing. It should be quick. The new meshing tool is much faster than the old one. So we should have it in a minute or two. So yeah, let's switch to processing. Good, good. Is there anything I can do while we wait here? Yes, there is. I can go into Inkscape. Let me open what I did have. Not the no-sat, we want the regular one. Breakfast Hill, Inkscape. And I'm going to export this. Export as. I mean, is that the right image size? I guess so. Yeah, it's in millimeters, 2000, okay. All right, so we're gonna export that because we're gonna need that in Unity. And actually, we just got a message saying that our mesh has finished. So we're going to grab that. We're gonna go to our Breakfast Hill. We're going to make a new folder here. This is going to be our OPCD assets folder. And this one we're going to call terrain. So we got our Blender file. Hopefully it meshed correctly. Hopefully we got a correct mesh. Let's make sure everything looks good. I don't see any Z fighting. Everything looks pretty solid. I am happy with that. Okay, cool. So that export from, where's our Inkscape here? Where's our other Inkscape? This Inkscape, it's still exporting. So we're gonna bring that into Unity and we're gonna start flattening the cart paths before we get to sending the terrain to Blender to get all the meshes set to the terrain. So almost done. I probably didn't need to do 300 DPI. It's probably a little overkill. But I guess we will see. Let's see. Is it done? Cool. Yep, it is. All right, so we're gonna go grab. Okay, we want to import a new asset. Breakfast Hill. We're gonna import our PNG that we just exported that has all of our vector graphics on it, so then we can follow the car paths and make sure they are flat. So we're going to go over to our terrain and we're going to swap out the current one for this one. We're also going to check all of our tee boxes. You can see this one's kind of rounded, so we're definitely going to have to flatten it. So we're going to have to go through our tee boxes as well and flatten. I'm not sure if I have installed, which I have not. So we're going to have to go to the asset store and we're going to have to install our, I forget what it is, auto river material. Come on, where? Give me somewhere I can actually search. So we're gonna snag and we're gonna import our RAM. So we gotta take care of that first. So we're gonna import all those. Come on. Takes a little bit to import these ones. All right, we can close out our Inkscapes because they are fine. I don't think I actually changed anything, so I'm going to not save because I didn't change anything because our Blender looks pretty good. And if you're here earlier, here's what I was talking about where I put the buildings. They are in the same mesh, you know, the same material markings, but now you can see exactly where the building goes. This is the cart garage. This is just like a maintenance shed, and then the clubhouse goes on this area. But so this is, you know, yeah, they're the same mesh, I mean the same material, but I made separate meshes so you can actually see exactly where they're supposed to go, even though you won't be able to tell much of a difference later on. All right, let's see if it's finished. Almost done. All right, right, while we're here, we're gonna get our grass. We're gonna get 3DG in here. So we're gonna import our grass, which does not take as long because it's a much smaller package. All right, yep, update it so it works for GSPro, and then we are good. Now we can go back to our, let's turn off the sun because it's kind of a pain. We've got some bleed over here, but it might just because it was, how did it import? Yeah, let's bump this up and let's apply. So we're gonna convert this. It was already at like 22,000 by 22,000 or 23,000 by 23,000, something like that. So we definitely don't want it as 2048. We want it as 8192 by 8192. There we go. That is much cleaner. That looks better. There. Now that we have our mesh on top, we can kind of see our terrain a little bit better. That is looking a lot nicer. That looks good. Pretty good. All right, we're gonna smooth out our terrain a little bit when we transfer it over to Blender. It'll get smooth just a touch, but the main thing we want to do is make sure that we smooth out where the building is, which is going to be right here, which looks pretty smooth already. The clubhouse area looks pretty smooth, so I'm not too worried about it. The storage shed looks pretty good, but we're still going to go through and smooth that. But the biggest thing is make sure we get all of our cart paths smooth so they look nice. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a river spline. We're going to use river otter material for this. So we're not actually going to make a river, but we are going to use it to fake it. So we're going to make a river essentially along the cart path, and then we're going to use the carved terrain tool that is inside of RAM. Actually, we're going to bump this down to 3 meters while we're here so we can kind of see where it lands. We're going to use the terrain carving material, the terrain carving tool, and we're going to flatten out the cart path. So let me back that up. I didn't like where let's back it up again, right there. So we can flatten out the cart path, so it'll be a nice smooth cart path. It's not gonna go these weird wacky paths. So I'm gonna go to here because it looks like I'm just gonna follow the cart path. No, we kind of have this problem here too, so I'm gonna continue with the cart path. So we'll continue to mark out the cart path, and then we'll smooth it. And this is kind of where it's bumping up against this hill, so we're definitely going to want to smooth it out a bit. So we're just going to follow the cart path here. And you can kind of see where the white is. It's kind of like above the plane is above the cart path. And if it's missing, then the cart path is like not, that's where it's not like really flat. So you can kind of see where the low and the high spots are. So we're going to carve that to make it all nice and flat. So we're gonna go to this intersection. Let's kind of find a spot where it looks like crap. So it's not terrible right here, but you can see it's running up this hill. So we're gonna go over here to terrain. We're going to change it to a flat plane, and we're gonna bring it down. Nope, that is not what I want. I want this to be flat. Let's cancel. Let's go back. I want flat plane. There we go. And then I'm gonna pull it down because I want it at, I don't know why it's, come on. There we go. I want it back out here. I want it at 0. So I want this at 0 because I just want to make it flat. That's all I want. All right, so now I should be able to just hit carve terrain, and then this will get flattened out. So let's hit carve terrain. Cool. So you can see this got flattened out, cut into this hillside just a little bit to flatten this out, and now we got a nice flat cart path all the way back to where we were at the beginning of the cart path right here. So we're gonna do that to see this one. This one's pretty bad. Like you can see, like right here, not very smooth. It just like kind of goes up this hill. So we're going to start it here, and we're gonna run it up this cart path right here, and we're gonna go out to the end of the thing, and we're gonna smooth this cart path out. And that is not what I meant to do. The closer you put the points together, the better it's going to be, because then you won't have the up and down undulations. You won't take like huge cuts through a hill or something, because this also goes. It also takes into account the z-axis. So if you go up and down a hill, you want it to follow the hill. You don't want it to cut through the hill. I'm going to stay just a little bit wide of the sand trap so I don't cut into the sand trap too much, or at all, hopefully. But yeah, it's like a little hill right here, so you want to make sure that you're following, so you can see the spline is going up the hill. So it's not just like a flatten to one level. It flattens between it basically goes between the points. So if you have an angle, it will cut down on the angle. All right, I'm gonna run this one out into the woods where no one's gonna see the transition, if there is a transition, because no one's gonna be out here. It's gonna be in the woods. So I like that. That's where I'm gonna go. I'm going to go to terrain. I've already set the terrain because I'm just going to keep using the same spline, and just once I do the carve. So this is probably gonna show pretty good carve right here of what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna carve terrain. There we go. So that definitely flattened it out. And then I'm gonna take the smoothing tool and just kind of smooth this right here, just to kind of clean up that little spot where the two meshes kind of come together. Again, no one's really gonna see it, but it's fine. So ram spline, so we've carved it. Let's look down it just to make sure everything's okay. Everything looks pretty good. Cool, so now we're just gonna remove the points and we have our nice flattened cart path. And that is what we want. Can you turn the music down a little? Oh yeah, is it that loud? Jeez, I'm sorry. Is that better? Hopefully that's better. I didn't think it was that loud. Like my voice is like, it's showing like 20 dB higher, but it could be. Cool. Yeah, so we got the cart paths for 1 and 10 done. We're gonna look at this intersection. It looks pretty flat. I am okay with how it is already, so I'm not going to bother flattening it. Let's run up 2, and this is definitely a problem. So we're definitely gonna have to flatten this area. So we're gonna start back here, and we'll put a point, and we're gonna come through here. Definitely need to flatten this cart path because that is definitely running up the side of the tee box. So we're just gonna run up the side of hole number 2 here. It doesn't look too bad. You can kind of see it's just tilted to the right a little bit. So the right is the low side and left is the high side. You can see that because you can see the white from the trail. And now here it's kind of a little, now it's kind of going the other way. So this cart path doesn't seem too bad. It's pretty gentle, but might as well, since we're already here, might as well just flatten it out so we don't have to worry about it. And we're just going to follow it all the way up the 3rd hole as well. You can turn it up a bit more, okay. I'll pop it. I'll max it at like -40 because my voice goes up to about 20, so hopefully that should be good. Yeah, so right now I'm in Unity working on flatten out the, I've already gone through the process of marking out the, all the, the tee boxes and the fairways and all that fun stuff. So this is all gonna be able to get played in GSPro, which is a golf sim software, which you can see that my hitting screen is actually right behind me. So I'm building this course. This is Breakfast Hill Golf Club in Greenland, New Hampshire. I've already published 4 other courses in the past couple weeks. This course is really fun. I played it this summer, so I wanted to get it into GSPro so I could practice it. So when I go play it this coming summer, I have a little bit of a leg up. All right, so that should be good. I should be able to carve this. Let's go take a look at where the real problem is, and we'll see as it carves, make sure it gets what we needed. Yeah, you can kind of see it running up this hill right here. Whoop. Let's get a little closer. Yeah, you can see it completely running up the hill right there. So let's get this carved out of terrain, and we're gonna carve. Hopefully that will bring it down to exactly where we need it, and we'll be good to go. Yeah, that looks a lot better. All right, biggest thing is check the end of the spline, just to make sure they carve correctly, because sometimes they get a little wonky and they don't blend very good into the next texture or the next piece of terrain. Sometimes they get really, really high, and sometimes they get really low. Those both look pretty good. This one's out in the woods, so no one's really going to see it. Looks good. So we are done with that one. We can get rid of all the points, and now we have our nice flat cart path again. And it's nice follows up the hill, but it stays flat. All right, let's take a look at the cart paths over here. There's not as much hill, so I'm hoping that I don't have to do anything with them. This one looks pretty good. Yeah, this looks smooth. This one looks pretty smooth already. I mean, this one's tilted a little bit, but that is not a big deal. There's a bridge right here, so I'm gonna have to mess with it a little bit. All right, so I am going to set up so there's a bridge right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take this out, and I'm going to actually go right across to the other side. So I want these two sides to be level with each other, and then I'm going to come through and I'm going to knock this piece down. So I'm going to go to terrain, I'm going to carve. So now these 2 points are level with each other. So when I put the bridge in, it will be level. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my height brush, I'm going to select this height, and then I'm just going to tamp this back down, and you can see it's below the plane of the river, which you can see because it's white. So I'm going to just make a nice hard edge on each side, and that should be good. So when I put the bridge in, then it will be fine. So once I remove these points, you can see I knocked this back down, so now it's below. So there's there's a high point and a high point. The bridge is going to span right there. But other than that, we'll continue looking down the cart paths just to make sure that they are all flat. This one might get a little wonky right here. Yeah, this one's going to be tough. So I'm going to flatten at least a bit of this cart path. Yeah, I'm going to go from like right here. I'm going to flatten the cart path at least past by the sand trap, and then I'll see how the rest of it's looking. Just because this is a weird spot. This is a rock wall right here, so it's probably not going to really notice because I'm going to be sticking a lot of rocks right there. All right, let's go from here and check the rest of the cart path. I mean, that looks pretty flat. I mean, this one it rolls a little bit, but it's not like egregious. Yeah, that one's fine right there. That's fine. I just don't want anything that's like super like tipped over to the side or accidentally going, across a hill. And it's just like completely turned over. That's fine. So, okay, we'll cut it through the woods. I mean, no one's ever going to see this, but that's fine. All right, so I'm going to go terrain. I'm going to carve what I had. Let's fly over here and just make sure that the terrain looks okay. So it's flattened by the sand trap here. Let's just check the ends. End looks good. Let's check the other end. End looks good. Okay. So we're gonna kill that spline. We'll delete all the points and we'll start a new one right here just to kind of smooth this path through the woods. I mean, no one's gonna see it because it's gonna be pretty deep in the woods. So, I mean, if anybody hits a ball over there, I guess they'll see it. But if they're that deep into the woods, I don't think they really give a crap what the cart path looks like. That's like the least of their problems. But, you gotta take pride in your work. All right, let me fly this cart path. It's a little bumpy, yeah. We'll keep going. We'll keep working on this cart path. I did not mean to switch to that. Yeah, I mean, it's just slightly tipped to the right, so it's not egregious, but might as well smooth it. It is a little worse out here. It's a little more kind of bumpy. It's just one thing you want to do as a designer. Just make sure the car paths, you know, are flat. They're just kind of, I mean, they're visual. Just want your stuff to look good. Creating a playable course is easy. It's making it look good. That's the trick. All right, so I'm fine. I'm gonna carve to there, and then I'm gonna check. All right, let's carve the terrain. All right, let's fly it real quick. Make sure it's good. Looks pretty good. Let's just check the end. It was out in the woods, so this could be kind of a funky joint right here. Yeah, so not terrible, so let's get rid of these points so we can see it a little better. So you can kind of see it's a little rough right there, but not a huge deal. I'm just gonna take the smoothing tool. I'm just gonna smooth this just a little bit. Boom, boom, like it was never there. All good. All right, onward. I'm gonna check on this hole. It's tipped a little bit, but I'm not too worried about it. It's relatively flat and smooth, so I'm okay. I'm just gonna keep following the path. See if anything kind of stands. Yeah, this spot kind of stands out. Let me see if I can just hit it with the smoothing tool and see if that will just get the job done. Oh yeah, I think so. I think just the smoothing tool got enough of it for me. Again, I'm going to use the smoothing tool right here just to hopefully bring up the side just a touch. So you got this little undulation. I'm just going to smooth just a little bit, and I think it won't be noticeable. It's pretty far off it's in the woods, so not too worried about it. Good here, just a little bit of smoothing right there. Just looked kind of a little weird. Ooh, actually I'm going to cut. I'm going to cut around this corner, I think, because it is just a little bit much. All right, so let's get the spline. Let's get a spline going here. So I'm going to cut this edge. You can kind of see that it is pretty steep. So I'm going to cut around here. I'm going to go into the woods a little bit. I'm going to stop my spline right there because I can hide the cut. So let's terrain, let's do the carve. Now let's go check it out. Much better. Let's check the seam. Looks okay. Let's just grab our smoothing tool. Just a little smooth right there, and we're good. Let's check the other end. Again, hit it with a smoothing tool, and it kind of disappears for us. All right, we're gonna have to do another one because this one's looking a little wonky. Especially over here, this one. This is what you do not want. This is an example of what you really do not want. So you really need to cut this one. So comparatively, this ain't bad. And given its location, I'm gonna leave that part alone, but I am definitely gonna have to carve this over here. All right, so let's grab this ram spline. So we're gonna have to do some pretty good carving, and I pretty much want to carve straight through here. I want to knock this all the way down, so I'm not going to select any of this area. I want a nice flat cut right through that. Let me check the rest of this cart path. And it looks pretty good. I'm gonna hit it with the smoothing tool right there, but other than that, I think the cart path looks pretty decent for the rest of the hole. So I'm just gonna carve this spot. So now you'll really be able to see kind of what this carving does and how River Auto Material is super useful for at least this. They pulled it right down. Cool. Now we got a nice smooth cart path right there. Let me check the seam. Seam looks okay. Smooth path. We're gonna grab our smoothing tool. Just put a little smooth right here. And right here is where it was, so we'll just smooth that. Alright, let's hit the rest of the cart path. Looks decent. Got this one little spot right here. I'm just gonna hit it with a smooth. It's fine. Cool. Looks good, looks good. All right, we'll follow the cart path back down the other side. I mean, it looks good. It looks pretty good. Even this little bump right here, not terrible. I mean, there are natural little bumps. That's fine. It's not like completely tipped over like 40 degrees. Got this little spot right here. We're just gonna smooth that a little bit. All right, we definitely got to do something about this spot right here. I might be able to do it just with the flattening. So let's pick this right here and let's pull it through. Boom. Just with the flattening tool, got it done. We'll just hit it with the smooth right there, right there. Just kind of get rid of those hard edges. Boom, taking care of it. Didn't you have to get out the ram spline for that. So yeah, this is kind of where it comes in. Like it cut right next to here. So I snuck it in there right where it needed to be. And it didn't hit that bump. Got a little bump right there, but again, not terrible. This is tipped a little bit, but it's not egregious. I'm gonna smooth this just a little. It's a little wavy, but it's in the woods. No one's gonna see it. All right, I might be able to get away with the flattening on this one too. Yep, I think so. All right, I'm just gonna hit it with a smooth. Cool, that's good. All right, so hit that with a smooth. Were these like piles of dirt? I'm just gonna leave them there, and I'm just gonna make them piles of dirt. They must have had some fun, because this is like the maintenance shed is like right here. These must just be like piles of dirt that they put in their parking lot that they happen to get hit by the LiDAR when they did the LiDAR. So that's cool. So I'm just gonna make them as piles of dirt when I start adding textures. I saw, where was this? That's just an island where like a couple trees are planted, so those are fine. All right, so let's continue. Now we'll go to hole number 10, which we have already done, but then we'll head out to 11. Which looks good. Got Just smooth that just right there. Hit a little bit of smooth there. Nothing serious. A little right there. Just down this path. I mean, these are fine. These are just, I mean, it's just natural, like, undulations. Let's check the turnaround. The turnaround might need it. Actually, the turnaround looks fine. We're just gonna hit the smooth. Just because we're here, might as well just hit it. Yeah, how's it going, little Piper? It's going. YouTube really hates the you know, the tobacco space these days, so I haven't really been doing a ton of that, obviously. And I've just been busy with all my other stuff. Playing lots of golf, and now I have a golf sim, so I've been doing that. All right, this definitely needs a carve, so we're gonna back up just a little bit into the woods, and we'll add the spline here. I kind of figured this spot would need it because it's pretty tight, so it's gonna be hard to hit the LiDAR exact. I've been a busy guy, just with work and golf and my computer business. Let's check out the rest of this. This looks pretty good, and then we'll start another one over here. All right, let's carve that. All right, and we'll go check it. We'll go check the ends. I mean, that one's in the woods, so that's fine, but we will hit it with the smooth just to get it. And then through here, again, into the woods. And there's the end right there. So we'll smooth it out right there. Just kind of hit it with a nice little smooth. All right, we're gonna follow the path out. So we did the carve there. I'm pretty sure we we follow it in on 9 or 10? I have to go on both sides just to see. No, we're going down 18 right here. 18 looks pretty good. So I think we are pretty good with the cart paths. I'm pretty happy with that. Cool. All right, let's yeah, okay, cool. All right, so we are going to, well, I'm gonna save this. Just Control S. I thought I'd just come and say hi. Yeah, it's been a while. If you want to see more of me, I put the link in to Accidental Birdie. That's my golf channel. So if you want to go subscribe over there, you'll probably see me a bit more often if you're over there, because that is where I'll be doing a lot more stuff. All right. So we're good here. I think we are pretty much all set. Okay, cool. So we saved it. So we are going to now, we're going to export our terrain. So we're going to do our inner, we're going to do a full export. And we're going to put that in our assets, terrain, and this is terrain 1, so we're just going to leave it as terrain. And then we're going to export the outer as well. And then we'll have our meshes all conformed. So then we can do some stuff in Blender. Oh, this is going to take a bit. Everything has taken so long. All right, so that's exported. Since we're here, we're going to export the outer terrain as well. And then hopefully we'll never have to export the outer again, because we're not making any changes to the outer. This might be a little quicker, hopefully. Oh, we're getting there. I'm curious how long this whole series is going to take, just because I've never really timed myself on how long it actually takes to build a course. I'm coming up on what, like 5 hours and 20 minutes? Something like that. 4 hours. I don't know what I'm at. That's 4.5 hours so far. But I may be wrapping up soon because I probably want to play a little golf here this afternoon. So probably gonna wrap it up. Not too long. We're gonna do a little bit of Blender, and then we're gonna bring it into Unity, and yeah. All right. So we are going to, for the first import, we are going to smooth. Oh, I didn't look at the tee boxes. Crap. Hopefully a tee box. Shoot. I may have to go back and do the tee boxes. Let's just take a look at what this looks like. All conform terrain. All right, man, looks good. All right, let's check some tee boxes here. Where am I looking here? Jeez. Okay, so we're going to do bulk. We're gonna select tee boxes, and we're going to go tees, and we're gonna flatten all the tee boxes, and hopefully they all look pretty decent. And that one looks fine. Let me bring up the wire frame just so we can take a look. I mean, those look good. Those look good. This one looks a little, no, actually, what? It's just an optical illusion. That one looks good. Cool. All right, let's go to 2. 2 looks fine. Yep, 2 looks fine. Where's 3? 3's right here. 3 looks okay. Like, I don't have anything egregious. Like, some of them have fallen off the edge a little bit, so they're gonna get a little burnt when they're slope shaded. But I'm not too worried. Those ones look good. Those ones look good. Yeah, this one's terrible. Yeah, that one's bad. Shoot. Okay. I may have to go back to Unity and flatten out some tee boxes first before we go into Blender. All right, so because we have to do that, because I'm gonna have to do all those, I'm gonna call it here for now. Because I don't want to take the time to do all that right now, because I really want to hit some balls. So if you are subscribed over to the Accidental Birdie channel, link is in the chat. If you're over in Tea and Tobacco, go over there, and I'll be playing some sim golf in a little bit. So we're gonna call that here for now for the development, and we will be back to developing maybe later tonight, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. We will see. But I want to hit some golf balls, so I'm gonna take a break. Maybe make some food, get something to drink, do some practice, and then we'll hit the simulated golf courses. All right. See you later, people.